Happy Wednesday, everybody. Today's video is not going to be about how to turn a pen. It's not going to be about how fast you can turn a pen. It's not going to be about what kind of wood does it take to turn a pen. It's going to be about how much does my first pen cost? That's my number one question when it comes to pen turning. If I want to get into pen turning, what's it going to cost me to turn my first pen? I thought it would be a good idea to give people the basic fundamentals of the items and the prices of what they're going to need to turn that pen. So let's get started. First is the lathe. Do you have to have a lathe? No. Does it make it easier? Yes. I've got the central machine. It is big enough to turn bowls and other things on, but it also turns pens. So this lathe was $220. You're going to need turning tools. The turning tools I got were originally from Arbor Freight. It was the first set I ever bought. They were $60. The Mandrel Saver, $15. Bushings, $4. The bushings will depend on the size of pen you're wanting to turn. This was not a necessity, but it is a great item to use. It's a Mandrel Saver. What the Mandrel Saver does, it goes into your tailstock and aligns with and goes into the mandrel. The mandrel pushes on the bushings and not the rod. If you use just your end and push on the rod of the mandrel, then it's going to have a tendency to bend the mandrel. So with the Mandrel Saver, it puts all the pressure on the bushings. $15. The mandrel will come in two sizes, a number 2 MT or a number 1 MT. That all depends on your lathe and what you get. Typically the mini lathes are a number 1 and the larger lathes are a number 2. This is just the dimensions of the shaft. So we talked about the mandrel and the Mandrel Saver. Let's go into some other items that you're going to need or potentially need to help you with the pen turning. This is a little jig that I made out of some scrap wood that didn't cost me anything, but what this does, it holds the pen blanks, which the pen blanks were scrap wood, didn't cost me anything. So these are 0 and 0, and it holds the blank in place as you drill the hole center of the pen blank. I have a center finder for the blanks that actually cost $5. You'll need the pen blank kit itself. Depending on the style of pen that you're turning, you can go from $3.99 to a slimline pen up to $19.99 for a steam pump kit. Another must-have is the barrel trimmer and the drill bits here. These I bought as a kit. The kit was $35. The drill bits was $17. These are brad point pit bits. That way whenever you get a good mark on the center to drill the hole, you want to straight through on your pen blank. The barrel trimmer or the reamer is used to level out the wood to the pen kit insert. That way it's flush against the pen. A lot of people have a pen press. You can get a pen press online for $29. I personally just have a clamp that I use that I paid $15 for. This works just fine for me. A drill press is not a necessity, but it makes it a whole lot easier. But you can do the center hole on the lathe. So if you do use a drill press, this one here was $139. When gluing in the inserts, you'll need the CA glue and an activator. This gets it ready for the mandrel. This was $8 and $7. Next, after you got it turned down, you have to sand it down to the smoothness you want. I go from 1500 to 12,000. It's not necessary, but you can do it. This was $12. I use Doctor's Woodshop Pens Plus. You can find this online at doctorswoodshop.com. You can get this for $18. It's a high friction polish that polishes up wood project pens. Well, I hope that gives you a little better understanding of what it takes to turn a pen. And again, this is just what I do here at my shop. There's other different methods I'm sure that's out there, different techniques, different tools. It all depends on the cost of the items you buy. This is personally what I paid for for my first pen. I didn't want to make this about how to turn a pen simply because there's hundreds, if not thousands, of pen turning videos out there with great instructions. One of my favorite pen turners and blank makers that makes his own blanks is RJB Woodturner. So if I would suggest anyone, I suggest RJB Woodturner for looking up how to make your own blanks, to how he turns pens, to how he finishes his pens. He has a great CA glue finish he puts on his that I just hadn't mastered yet. I never did say how much my first pen cost, but you got the numbers, add it up. Give me the number of how much my first pen cost, and I'll send you a pen that I've turned myself with stickers. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and always remember, be kind to one another.